Chapter 8. Exclamations and praises from Yamaraja and his followers. At that time, Yamaraja and the countless numbers of ghost kings, traveling from the 18 major hells and crossing the 3 rings of ocean inside the iron-enclosed mountains, arrived at Trimsha Palace, where the Buddha held his assembly. Their names were Vicious Poison Ghost King, Many Evils Ghost King, Great Argument Ghost King, White Tiger Ghost King, Blood Tiger Ghost King, Crimson Tiger Ghost King, Calamity Spreading Ghost King, Flying Body Ghost King, Lightning Flash Ghost King, Wolf Fang Ghost King, Thousand Eye Ghost King, Animal Devouring Ghost King, Load Bearing Ghost King, Ghost King of Wasted Blessings, Ghost King of Disasters, Ghost King of Food, Ghost King of Wealth, Ghost King of Domesticated Animals, Ghost King of Fowl, Ghost King of Beasts, Ghost King of Phantoms, Ghost King of Birthing, Ghost King of Destiny, Ghost King of Disease, Ghost King of Danger, Three-Eyed Ghost King, Four-Eyed Ghost King, Five-Eyed Ghost King, Chili Shear Ghost King, Great Chili Shear Ghost King, Chili Cha Ghost King, Great Chili Cha Ghost King, Anaja Ghost King, and Great Anaja Ghost King. All these great Ghost Kings, each along with their 100,000 subordinate minor Ghost Kings, take residence in Jambudvipa. Each Ghost King has his own jurisdiction of duty and authority. Empowered by the Buddha's great miraculous strength and the empowerment of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, these Ghost Kings and Yamaraja were able to come to this assembly at Trimsha Palace. They all stood at one side of the assembly, ready to learn the teachings. Then Yamaraja knelt down on his right knee, brought his palms together in front of his chest, and reverently addressed the Buddha. O Bhagavat, it is due to your majestic empowerment and the empowerment of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva that all these Ghost Kings and I are able to attend this great assembly in Trimsha Palace. We are fortunate to have such a privilege. I have a few questions which puzzle me, and I wonder if you, Bhagavat, would extend your kindness and mercy to clarify and enlighten us. The Buddha said to Yamaraja, "Please feel free to raise any questions. I will answer them." Meanwhile, Yamaraja admirably gazed at Bhagavat and paid obeisance. Then he turned his head, looked at Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, and addressed the Buddha. "Bhagavat, I have known this mighty Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva Mahasattva, who has set up 100,000 ingenious and convenient ways in the 6 realms to rescue those sinful beings that are in grievous sufferings. He never tires of any difficulties and never refuses to answer any call. This Mahasattva has inconceivable great power to perform miracles. Nevertheless, soon after those beings are liberated from the retributions of their sins, they fall back onto the evil realm again. O Bhagavat, since Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva Mahasattva has such marvelous, miraculous power, how could those sentient beings fail to remain on the virtuous path where they would gain permanent deliverance? Why do they repeatedly fall back onto the evil realm? I solely wish you, Bhagavat, will kindly explain and enlighten me." The Buddha said to Yamaraja, "The temperaments of sentient beings of southern Jambudvipa are characterized by extreme stubbornness and unwillingness to yield. They are very difficult to mediate and tame. Look at this Mahasattva. In the past 100,000 kappas, he has continued to rescue them one after another, without a moment of rest. He only wishes that they could reach liberation sooner. For those beings with grave sinful deeds, including the ones who have fallen into the worst of evil realms, Ksitigarbha uses his ingenious, convenient, and miraculous power to uproot the origins of their karmic causes and help them recollect their past, so they will know how the forces of their sinful deeds have continued to grow and expand. Unfortunately, sentient beings of Jambudvipa have the habit of clinging to evil and attracting evil. The more evil they attract, the more evil they become. The more evil they become, the more suffering they must endure. It is extremely difficult to get away from the sea of suffering because the force of evil will pull them back like gravity, and they repeatedly come in and out of those evil realms as retributions. Therefore, Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva has been extremely attentive, and after infinite kappas have passed, he still continues to rescue those beings. The Buddha continued with a parable. It is like a person who has lost direction and is unable to find his way home. Mistakenly, he walks onto a path of danger. Along the dangerous path, there are yakshas, tigers, wolves, lions, lizards, snakes, vipers, and scorpions. The lost person on the treacherous path is in imminent danger of being harmed by these poisonous beings. Then a virtuous, knowledgeable guide appears, who can easily remove the trickeries, dissolve the poisons, and moreover, halt and tame those yakshas and evil beasts. By chance he encounters the lost person, who is about to walk onto the dangerous path. He says, "You, sir, what are you doing? Why do you come to this path? Do you have any extraordinary ability to handle evil and resist toxicities?" Upon hearing these words, the lost person comes to his senses, realizing that he is on a malicious path. He stops right away and is afraid to go on. He pleads to the virtuous, knowledgeable person to be guided out of the path. This virtuous, knowledgeable guide holds his hand and leads him out of the dangerous path, sparing him from the attack and harm of the vicious beings and the toxin. Once walking upon the smooth and safe path, he will have peace and happiness. The virtuous, knowledgeable guide explains further, "How dangerous! You were delusional. From today on, do not step on the treacherous path again. Anyone who enters the path will have difficulties to get out and definitely will lose his or her life." After hearing this warning, the person who was lost realizes the seriousness of his error and is most grateful. As they bid goodbye to each other, this knowledgeable guide advises further. Whenever you meet any of your relatives, acquaintances, or fellow travelers, regardless whether they are men or women, you must tell them of the poisonous evils on this path where they will surely lose their lives. Do not let anyone repeat what you have done, lest they induce their own death. After the Buddha finished this story, he said to Yamaraja, "Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva is this virtuous, knowledgeable guide who, with his great kindness and mercy, rescues those sinful, suffering beings so they can be reborn in high places, among human or celestial realms, to enjoy superb, wonderful happiness and fortune." Now that these sinful beings realize the suffering of the karmic path and are rescued from it, they vow never to repeat the same experiences again, just like the lost person described in the parable, who mistakenly took the treacherous path, but fortunately encountered the virtuous and knowledgeable guide who brought him out of the danger. Because he now knows the suffering, he will never step onto the old path again. In the future, if this lost person sees anyone about to enter the evil path, he will advise them not to. He also reminds himself of this past delusional, unclear, and unwise mind, which trapped him on the evil path. Now that he has been led by the virtuous guide, Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, and is liberated from delusion and harm, he must not fall back onto the trap again. If he falls back and steps onto the old path again, it is because he is still confused and lost and has not fully awakened from his past mistakes. It is likely he will lose his life and fall into the evil path again. Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva will apply his convenient, miraculous power to liberate these confused and lost ones and lead them to be reborn among human and celestial realms. If they still tend to fall back to the old path, it is because their karmic entanglements are severe, and they will not gain liberation from the perpetual stay in hell. Then a ghost king named Vicious Poison came forward, brought his palms together, and reverently said to the Buddha, "Bhagavat, we ghost kings are infinite in number. In Jambudvipa, we either benefit humans or harm them, depending on each person's deeds. It is the force of karmic retribution that makes my subordinates travel amidst the world. They give out more harm than benefit. As they pass through many households, cities, villages, farms, and buildings, if they see any men or women engaging in any of the following practices, performing any virtuous deeds, even as small as a strand of hair, or as much as hanging a banner to celebrate the Buddha's supremacy, or putting up a canopy as a symbol of supporting the three jewels, or even making a small offering of flowers or incense as admiration to the images of the Buddha and Bodhisattva, or studying and reciting the Buddha Sutra themselves and for others, or burning incense as a respectful offering to one Dharma sentence or one Gatha. We ghost kings will respect these persons like we respect the many Buddhas of the past, present, and future. At the same time, we will pass instructions on to the subordinate ghosts, those with limited miraculous powers, and those overseeing the land, to protect these persons, lest any wicked matter, accident, illness, sudden sickness, or unfortunate event come close to their homes, or worse, enter their doors to harm them. The Buddha praised the Ghost King. Wonderful, wonderful. Since you, the rest of the Ghost Kings, and Yama Raja will safeguard these virtuous men or women who perform even a small offering to the three jewels, I shall ask Lord Brahma and Lord Shakra to guard and protect you." After Bhagavat finished his words, a ghost king among the assembly named Ghost King of Destiny stood up and reverently addressed the Buddha. "Bhagavat, being a ghost king is the consequence of my karmic deeds. My mission is to take charge of human lives in Jambudvipa. All their births and deaths are under my jurisdiction. My fundamental wish is to benefit all sentient beings, to have favorable births and favorable deaths. Yet, I can only respond to their evil deeds or virtuous deeds, not to their wishes. This is my karmic limitation that I cannot change. Unfortunately, these sentient beings fail to understand my fundamental wish and my limitations. Therefore, their births and deaths can be undesirable and unsatisfying. Why is this so?" when sentient beings in Jambudvipa perform beneficial deeds before or after the birth of a baby, regardless if the baby is a boy or a girl, the entire household will be safe and blissful, and Lord of Land will be pleased immensely and respond by protecting the mother and the baby. Both of them will have immense peace and happiness, and all other members of the household will also gain benefits. After the birth of a baby, the relatives should not commit killing for the sake of providing extra nutrition for the mother, and should not gather a large number of relatives and dependents to celebrate the birth of the baby with a banquet, loud music, or indulgent drinking and meat eating. Such celebration will deplete the mother and the newborn baby of peace and happiness. Why is this so? Because at the time of delivery, there are numerous evil ghosts, demons, monsters, and spirits craving for the smelly blood. Even though I have dispatched Lord of Households and Lord of Land to protect and care for the baby and the mother, as well as to give them benefits of peace and happiness, the relatives, if pleased with the circumstance, should respond to Lord of Land with blissful deeds. Nevertheless, far too often they gather relatives and dependents, indulging in celebration as reciprocation. They slaughter animals to have banquets for relatives and friends. Such offenses invite misfortune for them and also cause harm to the mother and the baby. Ghost King of Destiny continued. Furthermore, I wish to prevent these humans in Jambudvipa from falling into the evil realm when they are on the verge of their deaths. At that moment, they cannot differentiate between virtue and evil. Thus, they are unable to cultivate any virtues, such as chanting Ksitigarbhas or the Buddha's names, to benefit and give themselves and me the needed strength. In addition, even when I am trying to help virtuous, dying persons in Jambudvipa, they are surrounded by 100,000 vicious ghosts and gods from the evil realms, who are there to tempt these dying ones by transforming themselves into the images of their deceased parents or relatives in order to lure them into the evil paths. The temptation at such moments for those who have committed many evil deeds will be even harder to resist. Ghost King of Destiny continued. Bhagavat, the minds of these dying men or women in Jambudvipa are delirious and dark, unable to differentiate between virtue and evil. At those moments, when their eyes turn blind and their ears turn deaf, their relatives should practice the following. Make generous offerings to the 3 jewels and recite this venerable sutra. Also, chant the names and merits of the Buddha and Bodhisattva. These good measures will provide a favorable condition to guide the dying ones away from the 3 evil realms and make all the demons, ghosts, and gods retreat and disperse. O Bhagavat, I have observed if all sentient beings at the verge of their deaths have had the chance to hear one Buddha's name, one Bodhisattva's name, or hear one Gatha or one sentence from the Mahayana Sutras, unless they have committed killing, as mentioned in the 5 unremitting sins, minor evil deeds that would have destined them to suffer in the 3 evil realms, will have little effect because the empowerment of Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva will help them to leave the evil realms sooner. After hearing these words, the Buddha said to Ghost King of Destiny, You have immense kind and merciful mind. Thus, you have made such a great vow in order to safeguard all sentient beings during their births and deaths. In the infinite future, when men or women are at the verge of birth and death, You must not retreat from your vow. You must lead them to deliverance away from evil realms, so that they can forever enjoy peace and happiness. Ghost King of Destiny replied, Bhagavat, please do not worry. As long as I am a Ghost King, from moment to moment, I will be close to all sentient beings in Jambudvipa and care for them, so they will have peace and happiness when they encounter births and deaths. However, I only wish that sentient beings at the time of their births and deaths will believe in and take my advice and act accordingly. Only then will they have deliverance and great benefits. Then the Buddha said to Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, this great Ghost King of Destiny has been a great Ghost King for 100,000 lives. He has been supporting and protecting all sentient beings during their births and deaths, wishing them well. With his great kindness and mercy and great strength derived from his vows, he appears as a great ghost, yet he is not really a ghost. 170 kappas from now, this Ghost King will become a Buddha. His title will be Formless Tathagata. The kappa will be named Blissful Kappa, and the world he upholds will be named Pure Habitat. His lifespan as a Buddha will be of uncountable kappas. The Buddha concluded, Ksitigarbha Bodhisattva, the merits of this great Ghost King are inconceivable, and the humans and celestial beings that he has rescued are also infinite in number.